Hello and welcome back to Smart GTA San Andreas on mobile. So, in the last episode, I said I was going to try to do 2 to 3 missions every episode, and I don't know if for this early game I should be doing that, since most games in the early stages are quite easy. So, for now, I guess we'll just keep it up with that. I don't know if the game's going to get easier and harder. Most games get both easy and hard as you progress later, but I've never played a GTA, so I don't know what the difficulty spike is. But anyways, let's just get on with today's episode. So if you guys remember yesterday, I said I watched this movie from the 80s called Re-Animator. I think I pointed it out. So basically, yeah, that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Since watching it, I've seen it at least 3 times now, and I think I have a pretty good grasp of what it is, or more or less. And today, I just kind of want to talk about it, maybe convince some of you to watch it, because I do actually have a positive outlook on it, and maybe to convince some of you to go watch it, or if you've seen it, then maybe go check it out yourself. So the basic plot is there's this medical student from Switzerland, and after his, mentor, basically dies, murdered, less or more. This isn't a spoiler, it happens in the opening scene. So he goes to Arkham, Massachusetts, to the fictional Miskatonic University, and there he gets into a whole bunch of shenanigans. Yeah, that's the basic plot. Even though the way I'm wording it is he's not really the main character though, so yeah. Although definitely the most iconic one. So I'm being a little vague with the plot, but if you ever watch it or have watched the movie, you know that the plot isn't really the most important thing. It's not really what the movie thrives off of. It's definitely more kind of based off its humor and its characters. It's a little bit of its effects, but I'll get to that later on why I don't think the effects are really all that great and are just kind of standard for this era. Real quick, I kind of want to discuss about the opening credits, which I think are very well done. It's basically just a bunch of what looks to be like, anatomy photos kind of fit in with the whole theme, I guess, or the setting, location, whatever it's trying to convey. And surprisingly, the music is interesting to say the least. It's extremely similar to the Bernard Herrmann theme from Psycho, which I don't know if it's ever came up in, say, a court of law, or just no one's noticed, or no one really cares. I think no one cares. But other than this main theme in the opening that shows up a couple more times, the music really isn't too memorable kind of the time for the 80s, so I think at least for that standards it's okay. But now, I don't know how much it holds up pretty well. So what I think makes this actually a pretty compelling and, worth at least one watch kind of film is the way it handles its comedy. Because based off of first and second viewing, you wouldn't assume that what you are watching is in fact a horror comedy sci-fi-ish. Yeah, there's a little bit of sci-fi here, but it's not too heavy on it as to say other H.P. Lovecraft stories, which this is based off. And yeah, those are usually pretty, cosmic almost. But this it's a little grounded, as grounded as you could be with the kind of story it's telling. Back to the comedy, that's I think what kind of makes this film kind of stick out from other horror movies of the 80s, as well as other horror comedies. Usually they don't really find a nice balance between the comedy and the horror, or it kind of steers towards one genre towards the other. There's only 2 examples I could think of right now. It's, well, this film and Evil Dead 2. But there's such huge contrast and difference between the sense of humor of Re-Animator and Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2 is way more slapsticky and physical, while in Re-Animator it's a bit more quieter, a little subtle, almost kind of making fun of the type of movie it is. The comedic timing and the way it's sprinkled throughout the pretty short runtime of only 86 minutes also adds to quite the enjoyability of Re-Animator. And without it, I don't think it'd be any better. If it was longer, there's actually a 105-minute cut, which I have not seen. I don't know if I wish to watch it, mainly because that might take away kind of what I really enjoy about Re-Animator, and the fact that it's this quick, simple film that you can just watch anytime, anywhere. And I think shaving off those like 15 plus minutes really helped it. So I guess I'll check out this extended cut wherever it may be, and I'll let you guys know. So yeah, I think the 86-minute runtime is a huge positive going for the film. And without it, I don't think it'd be as good as it really is. Maybe if it was a little shorter even. There's a couple scenes you could take out here and there, but overall, yeah, it's a decent package. So before we move on to the next thing I want to discuss about Re-Animator, I want to reveal one of my, I think, the funniest thing in the whole film. That would have to be, well, it's a brief little joke. It's even in the title of the video, which if you try to think on your first or second watch, you won't find it unless you're extremely observant. So there's this scene with like a clipboard, not really, not a clipboard. It's like, I can't think of what it's called for whatever reason. It's just a board outside, and there's a piece of paper that's the main address of a majority of the film. You know, they always come here throughout the plot, and it's the address being 666, either dark, dank, house, or mode. 666 house, or 666 dark house mode. Well, some kind of alliteration similar to that. I didn't catch it until my third watch. Thought it was pretty funny, and yeah, it is. So you'll find a lot of little things like that. There's a lot of adventuring in a morgue and dead bodies everywhere. So you got limbs just hanging off tables, and the first couple times you're like, all right, that's intentionally, but on like the third or fourth, you're wondering if whatever body double they got to do it is just like messing with the main actors, which does bring me to my next praise. Oh, I guess I have. This is what I believe is the glue that I think holds the whole film together. That'd be the acting. Now, not just from, I guess you could say, our main character. He's not really our main character. Instead, it's kind of generic. I don't even really remember his name at all, but that's not important. What really holds us together is Herbert West, played by it's kind of underrated. Don't really see him in much, but played by Jeffrey Combs. Anyway, but this guy, he really hams it up. Extremely over the top. And I believe this is his first feature. Before this, he had a background in theater. Majority of the cast and crew actually had a background in theater. So did the director, Stuart Gordon, who actually died recently in March. So yes, rest in peace to you. You made a fantastic piece of work. I'll be checking out some of his other work. But back to Jeffrey Combs. While watching this, you can definitely tell that this is trying to channel some similar energy to, say, the Mad Doctor genre from the 30s. When we look at that kind of horror, Frankenstein is, you could say. And Jeffrey Combs, he just hands it up. No questions asked. Just every word he says is just, every line delivery just. At the same time, though, you're like, yeah, he's good, but like, is it so good that it's kind of bad? Or like, it's purposely over the top. It's purposely just, But yeah, that'd be definitely the glue, the adhesive holding up this would otherwise be kind of okay, decent horror from the 80s. yeah, he's really what pulls it together. Now that I just talked about what was possibly the greatest thing about the whole film, I probably want to talk about, I think, some little issues I have. Nothing too major, mainly having to do with, I guess, maybe like a continuity error here and there. The budget was under $1 million, so, you know, you could actually see, like, okay, well, I could tell it's a set. They didn't really do their best to try to hide it. You know, you might have a wall that's a little too wobbly. There's a specific scene where it's supposed to be kind of dark and lit by a single light on the ceiling, but behind what are like some file cabinets, you can see like bright lights. You're like, okay, they're on the soundstage. You know, that one kind of annoys me because it's kind of a cool scene featuring a cool dead cat puppet. But it's like, come on, you gotta put some duct tape over that inside of the set and outside of it. You could have tried a little harder. Yeah, after that, nothing too major. I guess some of the side characters. I mentioned there's an actual main protagonist that isn't Jeffrey Combs, and he's a little generic. He's just a straight man, and he also has a love interest that's also okay, I guess. Yeah, the daughter of dean of the college. Yeah. Other than that, actually the main villain, not Jeffrey Combs, it's debatable whether he's the villain or not. I think more of an anti-hero, or just doesn't care as long as no one's in his way, I guess, because he does a couple things. But yeah, he also is kind of hemmed up, a bit creepy. Yeah, purposely done. It's really entertaining overall. Recommend it. Yeah, I was kind of vague while doing this, but just because there's some huge payoffs in this short around the month time that I don't really want to spoil, but maybe I should have at least set the subs. Yeah, I probably should have done that. So very quickly before I end this video, there's some great special effects in this. One more complaint I have, but you could tell they definitely used up all their budget towards the final third act, which does look great, but for the rest of it, you could be like, yeah, you know, it's a little cheaper. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my extremely vague description of Re-Animator, hope I've convinced you to at least go give it a watch. And yeah, I don't know what I'll talk about tomorrow. Maybe something else I just saw recently, but I kind of forgot it was called, so I gotta go check on it. Anyways, thank you for watching.